Well, good morning. This is Left to Center. We almost thought the locomotive wasn't going to make it.
I was here.
He was
I
like,
was in the parking lot.
he was in the conference room in the parking lot, all fired up. Yeah. I don't want to say coming in hot, but coming.
No, I'm not
coming in hot.
Coming in hot, part 2. Part 2.
Welcome to Left to Center, season 2, episode 15.
I previewed our show like 5 times. Our mortal enemy. We're not going to choose it.
I don't want to even call him a mortal enemy. I don't even listen to it.
It's my mortal enemy.
Yeah.
Tuesday what the hell happened? Where were you?
I was taking Patrick to school this morning. Okay.
As you always do.
As I always do. But yeah, Marissa's out of town right now, so it's my total responsibility right now. So I'm taking Patrick out to school, and I was listening to
a certain radio station that.
And like Tuesday mornings for them is like that's prime time.
Rip Tom Day.
I swear they say my name like 100 times.
They're obsessed
on Tuesday. They do.
Obsessed.
Like it's like they should change it to WMCD. Like change the call sign from JLB to MCD.
We're going to talk about the mayor of a city here in
the region.
We're talking
Mayor Tom 24/7, especially Tuesdays. So
and we're going to rip him, and it's going to be propaganda filled.
And I don't know if it's good for Patrick to hear that, but whatever. He's going to have to hear it sometime.
Yep.
Lindsay had to hear it. She turned out normal.
I mean, she is in counseling,
right?
That is
normal enough,
right?
Yeah.
Subjective.
She's going to nursing school now.
That's right.
She's married.
That's normal. Married, normal.
Jumped out of my former career and went into a new career because that's totally normal.
So
everybody's doing it.
So anyway,
look at us. We're podcasters.
So we're driving in, and they're like, basically lying about the water increase.
Yeah.
They're saying, and then this lady from Highland called in. She seemed like a nice lady. First off, they were mad because I said GD last night at the council meeting.
I noticed you did that.
I heard
that.
Yes, I think that was
what?
Yeah, I did.
That was
and I apologize. It is what it is.
Add it to your apology list.
I did. Yeah. I'm going to add it to my apology
later.
list. Yeah, that's a good one. So I called in and said, hey, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I did, but I shouldn't have. And it's not the worst thing I've ever said, but I shouldn't have said it at a public meeting. Okay.
Agreed.
And I apologize, especially during Lent.
I was thinking that.
Right. So I apologize. It was a dumb thing to say, but I've been very like bottled up on this issue.
I agree.
So
and
then this lady from Highland, it seemed like a very nice lady, says, my water bill went up $30 a month and I'm living by my husband.
How's that even possible?
Well, she lives in Highland.
That's impossible.
Like the water rate increase hasn't even gone into effect.
Well, it doesn't even affect her.
I know. So it's like, and then they put it out and they're like, yeah, it's horrible, this water rate, Mayor McDermott. And
well, you predicted this last night at the council meeting. You said, you know what's going to happen?
100%.
Everybody's going to blame me.
Right.
100%.
The other governments.
Right.
Which is fine.
Well, I mean, it isn't even the government. The people, people of the towns are.
Well, it's like being propagated by this station that claims it's like, oh, we're all news and it's all
They don't even
BS.
know. They don't even have a clue about the issue. They have no clue.
No.
If you guys
they haven't done any research.
No.
You know what they do? They open the paper up and they read it.
There's nothing in the paper because we have specifically not talked about this publicly.
Well,
so there's nothing in the paper. So like Jim DeLo gets to make up the facts, right? He has no goddamn idea what he's talking about. He has no freaking clue at all.
Not a clue.
But like he gets to go on this station, he puts it out, right? And then he gets people pissed off. And then this poor lady in Highland legitimately thinks that I raised the rates. Right. $30 a month. My rates are. It's like, listen, ma'am, it's impossible. Like either you have a massive water leak that you don't know, or the town of Highland raise your rates. Like those are the only two options. Hammond has no effect on your rate at all. Like if I was another city, I would raise rates on them and say, oh, it's because of Mayor McDermott, which is total crap. They're making millions of dollars off of water and nobody's questioning them now. Hammond equalizes it and makes it, we're starting to charge what we should have been charging for the last 35 years. And everybody's like, oh my God, this is the end of the world.
I just think it's hilarious that these guys, that they're on the air. They probably haven't spoken to one attorney involved in it.
No.
They haven't talked to anybody that's in any of the towns or cities regarding the settlement.
Nope.
And they're going to go on the air
like
as if they're the news.
Like Verley from Maryville that talks about, how great East Chicago is, but not great enough to live there. Lives in Maryville. And then she talks about it like fact. Like,
yeah.
I know what I'm talking about because I'm loud and bold. And because I'm loud and bold, I know what I'm talking about. It's like, you don't have a clue.
No, that doesn't give you the ability to think that you actually know the facts. But
so anyway, I was listening to that and I was like, man,
you couldn't help yourself.
No, it was like, and I told myself I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm like, what do you do when they're just flat lying? So like I called Jim and I was like, you're lying. You like put out propaganda on the air and if you called in and you'd straighten it out, like we wouldn't have to talk about it.
You know what that means? It's like, we want you back, please.
Okay, Jim DeLo, I know you're listening. If you change the station from WJOB to WMCD, I'll think about coming. I will come back on there. If you change it, it's not WJOB anymore. We want to make it more reflective of what we talk about constantly. So we're going to change it to WMCD.
Well,
This is the
welcome
first
to-
time you've been on there since the election, right?
No, one other time.
Okay.
When was it?
It was something
it's
that
the
happened. Oh, it was
fire
the-
department.
Yep, the fire department.
I would
Yeah.
encourage everyone. So the Go Hammond Facebook page, you can watch last night's council meeting on there right now. When Tom spoke, you did a 5-10 minute thing about this water.
Just on this issue.
Yeah.
If you're questioning about what's going on,
That's the speech to watch.
You have to like get past my GD at the very beginning during
Yes.
Lent. My GD during Lent was dumb.
Off to confession.
It is what it is. I said it,
How dare you?
but like the fact is, the explanation that followed that. I was saying I'm not talking about this another time, and I guess that's not true because I did the very next morning.
Yeah, I was going to say probably within, I don't know, 12 hours or
Right.
so.
But like honestly, it's just total ignorance. I'm putting out a fire that was like
Well, it's hard to
lit
hear
by
that.
an arsonist. Like he goes out and he lies and he gets people pissed off, and it's like if I don't put this fire out,
Mm-hmm.
at least the people that listen to that were getting pissed off, they heard me come in and say this is all bull crap,
Right.
like, and then turn into left of center and I'll straighten you out. But
That's
like the
right.
fact is, Didalo has no freaking clue what he's talking about. He has no idea of single fact about this case, and yet he goes on there and
And,
rails.
and one of the reasons we know that, by the way, is they haven't asked for an interview. They haven't asked for facts.
No,
they
he
haven't
didn't
asked
ask
for
me.
any
I called
information.
in. By the way, I called in. Nobody can answer because he doesn't have any staff there, right? We have more staff working for us than they do at WJLB
Well,
right now.
working's loosely, but
Like
loosely.
I call in like it's like 7:10. I'm going to straighten this out, and I'm not going to be in a hurry because I go on air at 7:30, and they put me on hold for 20 minutes, and like I'm listening to like Anyway, so there you go.
That's it. How about let's do our intro and do our sponsors, and then you've got
Woo!
your apologies.
Choo
Apologies.
Yes.
Apologies.
Lindsay.
Nothing like a heart attack to get you up in the morning. All right.
Why?
Because it was 7:30 and we were like, let's
I
just
was
go
in the parking
live,
lot.
and we did not know where you were.
And then we started hearing on the chat like Tom's on WJOB.
Tom's on WJOB.
That was
Cheated
fun.
on
True
us
story.
this morning.
Nope. I'm putting out fires
All right, you're
that are
listening.
lit by arsonists.
Arsonists. You're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest, all while having way too much fun while doing it. And if you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LOCPOD, LOCPOD. If you can't listen in live, download our episodes from the Apple Podcast or Spotify app and listen to us at a crystal clear 225 kilohertz per second. Just search Left of Center and look for our red and blue logo. Don't forget to rate and subscribe as well on the Apple Podcast or Spotify app. Also, if you own a business or running for office, or you have money, or you just like handing out money, send us an email at leftofcenterpod@gmail.com, and we can get an ad sponsorship going for you and in your name. So thank you.
John, can we talk about our business manager, about something he was all excited about last week that really didn't end up being very exciting? Not to rip our new business manager.
Oh, no.
That's
Yeah.
part of the job.
He's probably listening right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we haze the new
Hello,
guys.
The
Steve.
magic guy.
John, intro it.
Magic man.
So Steve's first action as business manager, his first official action, was he texts us, it was like maybe the next day or something. He goes, "Congrats, we're on Stitcher!" Exclamation mark.
First, it was like, and this is on our text chain that we
Text
share,
thread,
right?
yeah.
And
So
I
we're
was
on-
like,
what-
what's Stitcher?
That begs the question.
That's
what the hell-
awesome.
What is Stitcher? Right?
What is Stitcher? Which he was so excited about. It's a.
That's good though. I
It's
guess.
kinda like-
right?
It was great because I was just like, Steve's so excited. I wish I knew what he was doing.
So
What's
so,
Stitcher?
Okay, so like
It
Apple,
seems like a good deal.
So like Apple Podcast platform or Spotify, it's just an aggregate of podcasts. It pulls in.
Is it for the
Podcast.
Android or something?
It's there's apps for any
really?
device you have.
Huh.
So that's Stitcher, and he's thrilled about it. And he follows up with the link to check us out on Stitcher. So this is not a lie. We click the link, and this is what we see. I'm putting it up on the screen right now. It's a cat
It's really
in a
cute.
box.
After we hit this, now we assume this is going to be
This is
right
what they
to left
see?
of center.
If people go to left to center, that's
No, not anymore. Not
It's,
anymore.
it's actually
Like-
working now.
That's very appropriate. We should make that our home screen.
Oops.
Great job, Steve.
Yeah. Oops.
Page not.
That's what we said when we hired Steve too.
Cat in a box with a
Oops.
question mark. Well,
But he got it straightened out.
Yeah, he did. So good job.
Good job,
Steve. Actually,
Steve.
we are now actually on Stitcher. It
By the
only
way,
took a little bit
you have to
of
admit
time.
though, this business manager is coming in with a flourish.
I love
Oh.
it. He's not
He's already
joking
lining
around.
up guests, and
He's lined
He
up some
is.
good
we have a
stuff.
former Olympian as a guest coming up.
It's coming. Thanks to Steve, our business manager.
How about that? Former Olympian.
I think it's great.
I know. I think we got a second former Olympian getting lined up. We're like focusing on the Olympians.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. We're going to preview that. And Steve's on trying to take on some other guests we're going to get in here. So that's going to be exciting.
I got to bring something up in chat, too.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, when are you going to start taking calls or questions? And the answer to that is simple. Just ask your question in the chat.
Yeah.
That's right. Ask your question. in the
Look,
chat.
could I give some rationale on this?
Yep.
One of the things that I think is better about the podcast is, and there's so many great, smart people out there that call in and want to help. Kevin and I would literally show up to our previous radio show before we started Left of Center, and we wouldn't really have to plan much because we would just let the callers take us in the direction they wanted to take us. And then sometimes that's good because they're smart callers that have great questions, and sometimes you get the jackass that calls in and takes it to a level you didn't want to go to, or focuses on something that's not very.
And not that we're afraid of the jackass.
No.
or worried
I'll talk
about
to
the jackass
jackasses all the time.
Well, you do it. I mean, you do it a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
so
your job.
Right.
But I think the idea is that the flow here. I think we like the flow. We like the way it's going. The chat room's great,
And that's what
it
John-
allows us to keep kind of our own.
John and Lindsay are fishing for conversation
Yeah.
and topics to
And they
pull
tell
from
us.
the chat into the show, and it's not as intrusive, whereas some radio stations, including one of our competitors, when you call in, you are the star of the show, which is great,
Which
right?
they love, by the way.
And sometimes you get these people with an agenda that can't focus on anything but their agenda, and it's not interesting.
they think they're like somehow famous because they get to go on radio.
Right. And I don't really want to focus on, we have a show that we want certain topics we want to hit on, and we want your input. And if you guys have a topic that's better than our topic, we'll talk about that. So
Yeah, keep the chat. I mean, we love the chat, and by the way, because we do a lot of downloads and stuff, it's great. We love the way our format is, and we love our vibe.
yeah, I mean, you'd have like certain people, that would call in and they dominate your show, and we just didn't want that anymore, which is part of the reason we're over here.
We
But
like to dominate our show.
we are both. It's our show, right? I want to start off with apologies. I think this is a new bit for me.
Should we do it before or after sponsors?
I'll do it. I don't know. You want to do it after?
Yes, because I know people want to hear your apologies.
Okay,
'cause
let's
they're-
go. Apologies. This is going to be a new
great
thing for
teaser.
me. This is going to be a good thing for me.
The good thing for us is you won't run short of them.
Every show will piss somebody off, and then the next show I will apologize for the ones I pissed off previously before
you
we
should-
start anew.
Maybe you should do it now to apologize to the sponsors as well.
I apologize to the
advance.
sponsor for drawing attention to your business and then saying stupid crap right after. So
Misprint printing.
sorry, Rick.
With both Munster and Hammond locations, Rick Balzenberger and his team are there for absolutely all of your printing needs. He's responsive, fast, and he's good. Banners and signs of all sizes, from wrapping cars to business cards. No job is too big or small for misprint printing. Call Rick or Teresa at 219-836-2517.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Family owned since 1975, Tortillas Nuevo Leon has been a staple in the Mexican food industry for decades. Tortillas Nuevo Leon produces quality tortillas and crispy nacho chips locally and around the country. Just make a stop at your favorite grocery store and look for their popular red and white logo. For more information, check out their website at tortillasnuevoleon.com.
The Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Agency has been located for decades on the best end of the boulevard on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestimer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses all around Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie at 219-844-0103. I just actually referred a client to Ronnie Prestimer yesterday for new business insurance because she felt that she was getting a bad rate. He helped her,
Nice.
lowered it by hundreds of dollars.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Good
I was
people.
like, hey, Ronnie,
Ronnie's
please
the
take
best.
care of it, man. He was all
So
over it.
It pays off. It's a return on investment to
Absolutely.
sponsor the show, is what you're
They're
saying.
good people,
Wow.
and I know he took care of this woman, and she was very happy. So good job to the Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Agency.
Yep. Hey, Laura wants to know if you have any thoughts on the Lake County Democratic Chairman's race.
It's happening on March 5th, and because I'm kind of helping run it, I better just
It
say
exists.
it's happening.
But you're attorney for the. Well,
I
you're
help.
on-
Yeah, Mike
well,
Tolbert is the attorney for
yeah,
the party,
you're on the election
and
board.
because I've
appointed by Jim Weezer, right?
Yep, and because I've done so many caucuses, thanks to a former chairman named Tom McDermott, who I don't know how many. we
Retired
did.
chairman. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Retired on top.
Yeah.
How many caucuses do you think we did? Well, you were chairman.
30 or 40.
I mean,
Probably.
Oh my God.
so we've kind of got it down, including
everybody was getting indicted back then. So like there would be tons of vacancies.
people died,
true.
vacancies, people, and then
People
by the
died
way,
and went to jail.
when somebody
people
moves,
died and went to jail a lot during my 5 years as chairman.
and then think about it, when there's a vacancy and someone from another elected office goes to that vacancy, it opens up that office,
Right.
and it's like
we did a lot of caucus.
absolutely.
Multiple
So
caucus.
Yes.
Caucus.
Is that the
Is
title
that it?
for today's
Caucus.
show?
Caucuses.
multiple caucuses is a caucus.
Caucuses.
Caucus.
Fun guy.
Right. Fun
Yes.
guy.
People
So,
died and went to jail. That's the title of today's
people
show.
died and went to jail. Some people died. Some people went to jail. That's
and we were good at caucuses.
So anyway, I imagine your thoughts are. I mean, you're part of
it's
the administration, right?
Well, I mean, I think the chairman's race is always exciting. I would say this, that I think the theory is that a sitting chairman's usually somebody that should, it's hard to lose a sitting chairman because you have the power of appointment, but you did it. You unseated a sitting
I beat
chairman.
a sitting
yeah,
chairman,
so
right.
it's not like unheard of. So it sounds like it's going to be Jim Weezer against Commissioner Mike Repay. Jim Weezer's the current chairman. Commissioner Mike Repay obviously has a lot of people that like him and support him. So it'll be an interesting race.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Wow. But I mean, again, the sitting chairman has power of appointment. What that
Right.
means is that there's vacancies, you can fill them.
And you serve at the pleasure of the chairman, right?
I do.
Right.
I do.
So Chairman
that's why
Weezer
you
appointed
appointed
you?
me and John
You've been there.
Bunsich fired me.
And then, by the way, when John Bunsich fired you, that's when the war started between me and John Bunsich.
It did.
It was like, he's, like you're my work spouse.
And
when he fired my work spouse.
Kevin, you're his work wife.
Wow.
Right. And then he
don't know if I
fired my
wanna be
work
called a
spouse.
wife.
He
It's
I
not
said
Eva.
spouse. It's a work spouse.
Thank you.
Eva's my work wife, right?
And this is your work
Work
husband.
partner.
I have like a harem. What is
Wow.
that? Yeah.
I'm part of a
A
harem.
work
It's
harem.
a work harem.
I've never been part of a harem before.
But yeah, when John Bunsich fired you, it was total politics, obviously.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's fine.
It was, but
Politics
like
is
it
politics.
was also fine what happened after, and it was a freaking battle.
Didn't go well for the sheriff.
No,
Since
it
then.
was the beginning of the end for the sheriff. I'm not trying to say I was part of it, but like his decision to fire you led to a war with the mayor Hammond, and it like encompassed the Democratic Party for a couple of years, and then ultimately John Bunsich is indicted and disgraced, and he's serving time in federal prison right now. Another one that went to prison.
Yeah, and then you had that. Yeah, that was crazy.
You know what's crazy, Kevin? And
Sheriff Martinez was the beneficiary of that. Beneficiary of that.
yeah, you're
He
right.
became-
That's
yeah,
when
he ran the
well, the
caucus.
sheriff and I were always friends, and Tortillas Nuevo Leon is
Yeah.
the sheriff's family. But the sheriff and I were friends for my entire time as chairman, and it was a secret admirer. Not even secret. I told him how much I admired him and how much I wanted him to be chairman or sheriff one day. And then when he ran for Lake County Sheriff, when John Bunsich went to jail, it was my first opportunity to jump on board with both feet, and I did.
Yeah.
And I made a splash, and the sheriff and I have been besties.
Yeah, the sheriff's done a great job. I think. everybody
The
believes
sheriff's
that.
a great sheriff. But
We're
like,
lucky.
my thoughts on it are, I'm glad I'm not chairman anymore.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. I'm really glad I'm not chairman anymore. And I got a couple of people who are like, "Are you thinking about jumping in the race?" And I said, "Hell no." I said, "Hell no." Am I interested in jumping in? Are you crazy? Marissa's calling me. What's up with that?
Doesn't she know you have a podcast?
No, she doesn't watch.
You better
it
do
anymore.
apologies.
She gave us up.
Yeah,
She gave us
I know.
up.
She's probably smart.
She gave us up for Lent, I think.
I gotta
LOCPOD.
say, we gotta give another shout out to the chat. Everybody is just saying how much they love the chat here. They love expressing themselves, and that's the thing, guys. Like we're a podcast that just happens to film ourselves doing the podcast live because I think we like doing more work. So thanks for participating.
Oh, you mean as opposed to editing? Maybe one day.
No, as
that's-
opposed to not going live and just recording a
right.
podcast.
Yeah,
uploading
and
it later.
editing it. And
right.
like what a lot of the podcasts I watch, they do it that way. And the
Right.
commercials are pre-recorded, so they don't have to do that during the show like we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe one day if we have a bigger audience, we head that direction. But right now, I do like going live. I like the interaction with the fans through Facebook. And unfortunately, we're not live on YouTube. So our main audience for the live show comes from Facebook.
Right.
Yeah,
And we
which
have
is
the
fine.
best chat ever.
We do have a great chat. And then
Yeah.
I was even talking to my law partner, Steve, who is on the chat usually. And he's like, man, I love it. It's like I have a community in the morning.
It's
I
a
get to
community.
hang out with.
Right.
So
He did
it's
call
cool.
this chat the LOCPOD party.
Wow.
Nice.
There you
I
go,
like it.
Steve. Like it.
Right.
That's very
Thank you.
good.
We'll make our
Apologies?
own.
Apologies. It's time.
It is time. Okay. First off, sincere apology to the residents of Hammond I offended when I said the GD last night during a speech. It was slip of the tongue. I do curse. I was in the Navy for 6 years, and I hate to break it to people. My captain dropped F-bombs to us. Everybody. That's
Probably
just the way.
during Lent.
It was definitely during Lent. So, like, I'm a sailor. I'm a veteran. And I'm not excusing it, but most veterans I know.
Some habits die hard.
Most veterans I know have potty mouths, including this one. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I was underwater on a submarine for 4 years. That's how we talked. I hate to break it to you. I've talked like this since the day I walked into City Hall. I talked like this when I first started running for mayor. That's how I talk.
And you're not making excuses.
I'm not making excuses. And I that's one of the only times I've ever done it in a public speech. But I got sued by 5 communities. Okay. And I bottled up. I didn't say anything until yesterday.
I appreciate that, by the way.
I didn't say anything
I asked you
until
to please
yesterday. Right?
Just wait.
So yesterday, when I finally get to talk about this, I cursed. I apologize.
Yes.
During Lent, I will say when I go to see Father for confession,
You'll mention that.
I will mention it.
All right, fair enough. Your first apology.
It's a sincere apology.
I agree with you.
Most of the rest of them are bull crap, but this is a sincere
Start off
apology.
with the real
right?
one. Right.
Like my next apology is to my daughter Lindsay.
Oh.
I'm
Lindsay?
sorry I forgot about your birthday in the last show. Was
your dad? At least was your dad around for your
No,
birthday?
I know my daughter's birthday.
he was.
He wasn't. What?
I took Patrick on a ski trip,
Oh my
which is
God.
nice, right?
The
I would have
family
taken
went
Lindsay.
skiing
Lindsay doesn't
without
go.
me on my birthday.
Lindsay doesn't ski.
And
We
we're
have a
wondering-
ski cabin.
We're wondering why Lindsay is in counseling.
No, we all know when Lindsay's birthday is.
If you buy an add-on left of center, you contribute to the Send Lindsay to Therapy Fund.
By the way, 29, right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Your favorite
you look
daughter.
great.
You? Oh,
But
thanks.
my favorite daughter, of course, I know how old
I'm
she
your
is, and
only
of course
daughter.
I know when your birthday is. It's like you were my firstborn. Like, let's be honest, right?
Aw,
But
that's cute.
you're 29, right? Like, what do we
Okay.
do for birthdays, Kevin?
Well-
what did you do for your birthday last year? Did you have like a big celebration? Did you
No,
like?
it
Where'd
was
you
like
call your
the middle
brother?
of- middle
Like,
of
hey
COVID.
brother, like where are you? It's my birthday, right? It's at a certain point. Part of growing up is the birthday just sort of fades into oblivion.
All right.
middle
And
of
this is I'm
COVID.
helping you cope with adulthood.
I'll keep that in
Oh.
mind when your
We
birthday
had
is
a-
in 2 weeks.
We had
No
a party in
problem.
the driveway. We had
That's
a party
right.
in the driveway.
Yeah, that I wasn't
That's right.
invited to.
I
so
didn't
thanks,
even know it
Kevin.
was happening.
When was that?
Blame Jana on my birthday.
I will
Oh, yeah?
blame Janet.
Oh, we had a
actually.
party in our driveway with Patrick.
Yeah,
and
that's
I had a
fun.
bunch of creeps drive by and take pictures
Oh,
of
it was
us.
Tommy's birthday.
Tommy's, yeah. Well, I said Patrick. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Tommy's.
You're
And,
right.
yeah, that was when the lockdown was pretty strict. So we were like, we're going to do a drive-by party out in front.
remember.
And then this is so classic. We were like doing our best to stay out in front.
Middle of the
and-
congressional campaign.
right in the middle of the race. Okay. And one of my opponents, and then a felon that hangs out with basically the new congressman, he's on his team. This felon drove by and took pictures of Tommy's party.
Friends, yeah.
Because his friends, what
Congregating.
happened is they were supposed to drive by and like wave and then keep moving, but they didn't.
This is what
So they
happens with
started stopping,
19-year-olds.
and then another one stopped, and then before you knew it, we had 5 cars stopped in front of our house. We were doing everything we can to keep them moving, and I was in a dilemma. I'm like watching this, like,
Do I ruin my son's birthday?
Right, it's my son's birthday. His friends are like not coming in the house; they're just stopping by, and I'm like,
Had masks on, I remember.
we all did, and we were in the front yard, and I was like, should I bounce him or should I just be like a good parent? At least we're outside, and this guy drove by and stopped his car, took pictures of us, and drove off at a high rate of speed.
That
and
is
I was
so
like,
crazy.
and I was like, Marissa, that was Lefty, and she's like, what? And I'm like, and she
I mean,
got
just the fact that
she's
they're
a
like
judge,
around
dude.
watching is like
That's
creepy.
the scariest thing. That means they
I
were
mean, that
watching
you
this
have to
party.
deal, and you have to deal with this all the time. I
Yeah,
know
they're
you do.
creeps. This guy's a felon. He went to federal prison, by the way.
Gun
and by the
running.
way, huge WJLB supporter, calls in like frequently on this show.
They've made him into a star.
He's like a star of the show. He's a felon. He's a felon. He went to federal prison for defrauding the American taxpayers. And this guy is like a star at the
Gun running, yeah.
yeah, gun running, right? And by the way, maybe or not threaten a federal judge. I'm pretty sure that
I don't know
happened.
about that.
So anyway, where was I going? Oh yeah.
We were
Lindsay's
talking
birthday.
about apologies.
Yes. I'm sorry, Lindsay.
So overall, Lynn,
Speaking
good
of gun
birthday.
running,
Love you. I love
Even
you.
though your
I'm
dad
proud
wasn't
of you.
there.
Yeah. I went
No,
to-
we're doing a late celebration because Marissa's out of town now.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Yeah,
We had
so-
staggered. Marissa and I had staggered.
My birthday
trips.
is Thursday this year.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well,
pushed it.
congratulations on being 28 again.
Thank you.
dude, she might be calling to say like there's a water leak at the
No.
the cottage. Or
She's
whatever.
on East Coast time.
Okay.
She
All right.
forgot she's skiing. So,
Next apology.
Todd Rakita.
Oh,
I
you
love
did
that
go
shit.
after him.
I did.
You went after him
Why
hard.
are we apologizing?
Let me explain why. Because I called him an asshole, a hack, a Trump lemming, a sycophant, a poser. I betting that the people of Indiana want you as governor because you're so pro Donald Trump. I shouldn't have gone that far, Todd. I apologize, Todd.
It is interesting how
Damn,
he's
you said all those things.
He's
I
taking
did.
he's taking a chance.
In his
In my
personal-
opinion, he's taking a chance that if he goes over the top pro Donald Trump, because remember, like he's been unapologetic about the Capitol riot. He, has been attending Trump rallies during the lead up to the election. If he feels, I think he really feels that if he goes over the top pro-Trump, that the citizens of Indiana will elect him governor in 4 years.
That's his absolutely. He's the attorney general right now. For those of you that aren't aware, his new attorney general beat out fan of the show, Jonathan Weinzapp, who I heard is in the running for Southern District of Indiana U.S. attorney spot. By the way, put himself in.
There you go.
But anyway, so Jonathan, who's a great attorney, smart, was a mayor of a city, runs against Todd Rokita, like a total right wing, like extremist, like big time extremist. He's denying the election. He's one of these guys.
Ran against Governor Holcomb, tried to run against Governor Holcomb when Governor Holcomb was running for the open spot as governor, lost.
Yeah.
Todd
Rokita's got the distinction of being hated by the Republican and Democratic Party. I'm still apologizing. And I'm still apologizing.
Although less than Curtis Hill. I think they didn't like Curtis Hill more.
Well, Curtis Hill, yeah. I mean, it's hard. Curtis Hill, also big-time right-winger, also a groper. So, I think that's when you go too far. And you start, groping, and if you grow up, then you're out on the, in the right. So,
well, that's an apology. Thank you.
There you go, Todd. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Make it through. Yeah, I think.
Hammond residents.
There might be more. I think
I'm sure. After this show, there will be more.
There may be.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
People are.
Hi, everybody, for watching. I want to remind you we're Left of Center. We're on every Tuesday and Friday. Please like us, rate us, and review us. You can go on Apple Podcast and subscribe. Every time we do a show, it'll download right on your phone. You can listen to it anytime. Even on Stitcher. YouTube is where we get some action also. Go to YouTube and subscribe there on our YouTube channel.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Are you taking my line?
No, I'm re-emphasizing because, I want to get more.
He's taking my line.
He's trying.
That's my thing.
Well, we should say it more than once a show.
Rude.
Do I have to add the Stitcher logo to this subscribe over?
I would say not yet. Wait until we get one person that's downloaded on Stitcher, John.
Do they have a logo?
I don't know. Let's watch this. It's the cat in the box with the question mark.
We'll look at the stats.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you were skiing over the weekend, but I know you're also trying to keep we're going to follow you along your triathlon journey.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I got fatter during this journey? That's
like me with intermittent fasting.
Have you put on weight?
Yeah, it's just muscle weight. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's pure muscle.
So obviously when you're skiing, that's good exercise, but you're not doing your.
You know what?
I assume you're not doing your swimming.
No, I was not doing my swimming, but skiing, I'm telling you, what I'm doing, I was a beast. I out-skied Patrick, who's 15.
Well,
I've knocked
you're a better skier than Patrick.
No, what I'm saying is because skiing beats you up after we went for 3 days. Okay?
Yeah, your legs are.
And on the third day,
toast.
Pat got up. He's like, "I'm out. I can't move."
And you said,
"I went out
I'm
for
in.
2 more hours."
All right. So if you're not doing your
hardcore
swimming,
by myself,
but skiing unfortunately is not part of your triathlon.
Skiing is
I
crappy
to remind
workout.
You of that.
It's a crappy workout.
You're not getting a lot of.
I don't even get
cardio.
closed rings on my watch.
I believe it.
Because you're only
it's good for your legs.
You're skiing for 30 seconds and then you're on the lift for 5 minutes.
Unless you're out west where you can go 15 minutes. So all right. So are you back on the swimming yet?
Tonight I'm hoping if the Civic Center gets their situation fixed.
Yes.
But yeah, I usually go there after hours.
Solo or do you go with somebody?
I go by myself because
wow.
I go there by myself because I'm antisocial. No, I go after hours, by the way. This doesn't cost the Hammond taxpayers an extra penny. Mm-hmm. When the fitness center closes, I get there. And while the staff is cleaning up, I swim in the pool. And it takes me an hour.
Without a buddy?
No, I go solo.
Wow.
I'm used to going solo, man. I'm a diver, remember?
Aren't you supposed to?
Navy diver, by the way.
Always swim with a buddy.
But,
huh?
Buddy system. What if you
There's
get
no
a cramp
buddy
and then you
system?
drown?
Well, in the Navy, in dive school, it's funny. They had a whole thing where they emphasized to you in Navy schools. It's like
how do you get into dive school, by the way?
You have to be chosen. It's like an Olympics event that I had to compete in, and I was the top guy on my ship. They had to get a Navy diver.
So it's after you enlist. After you.
Well, no, I was assigned to my sub. Every submarine has qualified Navy divers.
Okay.
I was our ship's only diver at the time, but our captain knew that our ship was about to lose our diver. He was getting out of the Navy, so he had 5 of us. What the hell is that noise,
Lindsay?
It's like
it's a chair.
Yeah. Well,
sit still.
So anyway,
get better chairs.
So anyway, I tried out for through the Olympic contest, and I was chosen. They sent 4 of our ship's enlisted personnel to become divers, and I was the only one that qualified.
Whoa.
After a 7-week course in Panama City, Florida. And
well, that's a good deal. Like you don't have to go on the ship; you get to go to Panama City for 7 weeks.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good deal.
But
I got an extra $100 a month, which is my main motivation.
$100? That's all it was.
Yeah. Wow. I was a capitalist even back then.
Yeah.
I was like $100 a month, sign me up. And then so this school is like 7-week school. I get there.
Got to be intense.
Going back to the buddy system. The first day you walk in, they assign a buddy to you, right? And keep in mind now, I'm in this dive school, and it's all military. It's a Navy dive school, except for they have Army Rangers there. They have Navy SEALs there. They have Recon Marines there.
Holy cow.
Army Special Forces. No, Air Force Special Forces and Navy Submariners. I'm not bullcrapping. Like, I'm the
Where does the Navy
I'm the
Submariner
biggest
go on that
wimp.
list?
I'm the biggest wimp in the whole school, right?
Wow.
Everybody's like badass, like Special Forces guys.
So it's
right?
run by the Navy, but obviously Marines get to
There was
go,
no
and
SEALs.
Army.
Right. It was run by the Navy, but it's multiple service branches because, you know, they're not going to have an Army dive school, a
Right.
Navy dive school. So everybody goes to the Navy dive school, right? So I'm there, and there's no SEALs in our class, but we have Army Rangers in our class. We have Air Force Special Forces in our class, and mostly Marines, Recon Marines, and then me and 3 of my squid shipmates. Okay, well, and they all failed out. So I'm the last guy from the submarines
Gotta
in
make the
this class,
Submariners
in our
proud,
class,
man.
right? So I refused. I was not going to fail that course, especially after my fellow squids failed out because they were focused on me then, and they were like trying to get me to fail out, and that was not.
And this is like 18 or 19-year-old Tom McDermott.
21-year-old. I was
21-year-old
old enough to
Tom
drink.
McDermott. Wow.
I was old enough to drink.
There's nothing like that going in
Because he
Panama
went
City.
home and he drank.
I drank a lot. So anyway, we get in there and they want to emphasize, going back to the buddy system, they want to emphasize like you always have a buddy like within arm's reach of each other, right?
Really?
So they assign you a person in dive school, and this is how military school works. And they're like, this person, if you're in a classroom, if you're going to the bathroom, if you're diving, whatever you're doing, you have to be holding on to your buddy. Like literally, like grabbing his shirt, he grabs my shirt, you grab each other's arms, like through the whole school for 7 weeks. This is your buddy.
And the purpose of that is just to
Get you used
re-emphasize.
Yeah. So like I would literally be touching this guy all the time, and I wish I remembered his name, but I remember this. Like it's horrible, but that's
you
how
don't
the service
remember
was.
your buddy.
So when we get
Oh,
there,
no.
we get there, and all of us, nobody knows each other. Everybody's looking around, and I'm hoping I get paired up with one of my squid shipmates.
Sure.
Because I got all these Recon Marines.
Tough guys.
They're freaking
Yeah.
scary as hell looking, right? And then
They've been
you know,
working out.
The Air Force Special Force guy, he was awesome. I loved him. I forgot his name too, but he was in there. And then we had like a few
All these memories.
Army Rangers, but our class was mostly Recon Marines. Okay, and this is right before the Persian Gulf War. Okay, so we
we're
get
like
in there
88, 87, 88, 89, somewhere in there, right?
90,
Okay,
91,
90.
91.
All right.
Okay, so the Recon Marines, the scariest looking dude in the group was like a little short, like muscle bound dude with tattoos up and down his arm. And this is like 91. People didn't do that.
Yeah,
but-
that's pre like popularity
like
of
back then,
tattoos.
if you had a tattoo, you were like a very like it's a lot different now.
Much different.
But back then, everybody was bare armed. I still don't have a tattoo, but like this dude had tattoos like sleeves on both arms.
You did not see that.
He's this badass Marine, and I'm like, I hope to God that's not my guy because he scares the crap
there
out
you
of
go.
me.
You're going to jinx yourself.
So anyway, they draw it. Sure as crap. That's my guy. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I got the scariest dude in the whole
You
class.
get to hold his arm for 7 weeks.
I loved him.
There you go.
He was
That's
the
how it happens,
coolest, badass, like excellent person I ever met in my life.
One of the-
And I swear I know what he looks like because I have my Navy dive picture still. In fact, I think we busted out in the
Yeah, we did.
congressional race.
Yep.
I know who he is, and I love that guy.
You like to rip Marines. I mean,
do. I do
jokingly.
good natured.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, I respect the hell out of him.
One of
Yeah.
Dad's best friends is a Marine.
Yeah, Mike Deuce. He's a Marine. He's
I didn't know Deuce
he's
was
a
a Marine.
jarhead. But I love Marines. But like they screw with me and I screw back.
Of
okay?
course. That's a Navy Marine thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
But this guy was
Your buddy.
so freaking cool. And like, but I made it through school, obviously.
So wait, if you were so maybe something I missed, and I apologize if I did. You said like this whole like they ingrained the buddy system for 7 weeks, but then you also said you were the ship's only diver for a while. So wait, how does that work? Wait, you're like,
This is funny.
I gotta hold on to somebody.
So like
and
when
then
I
you
get back when I get back to the sub,
They give him like a stuffed animal octopus.
yeah, right. I would do dives completely alone, and you're like, I was the only diver. What are they gonna do? But
They
even
give you
when
like a dummy.
ultimately we got more divers on our submarine,
All right.
and we still did solo dives.
Wow,
The only
so-
time I did buddy dives was in dive school, and then as soon as I got to the fleet,
The
Like,
coolest
you're
guy.
fine.
I'm like, is there another guy going in with me? They're like, that's all bullshit. Just get in the water. It's like
Wow.
all the stuff you learned is like,
gotta
get
hear
the.
it.
What do you want? Another diver? Petty Officer McDermott, get your ass in the water.
You don't need a buddy.
But-
Wait a minute, we learned about buddies.
I would go into the water. It would be like 42 degrees. It was freezing. And by the way, I had wetsuit, but like wetsuit doesn't cover your feet very well, and wetsuit certainly doesn't cover around your face like you get. And then
42-degree
you
water.
know the Navy trick to
What?
warm yourself up in super cold water.
No, we
Anybody?
don't know any of these things.
John, Lindsay,
No.
Say that again. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
you jumping in. So, you piss on yourself basically.
Really?
As soon as you
Wow.
get in, you piss in your wetsuit.
These are all exciting.
As soon as you hit the water.
That sounds
You
like the title of the
apologize for
episode,
doing
John.
the GD, and you're saying like things like
Well, no,
piss
this
and
is
stuff
a
on
We're
your
on a
ship.
this is an
podcast.
interesting. No, this is an interesting thing. I mean, that's like a Navy.
Yeah.
Like a.
Don't
A
you do
lot
that
of
when you
people
get
not.
stung by a jellyfish? Yeah, like that's what you do.
When you
is-
get stung by a jellyfish, I got stung in the face, and it scared the crap out of
And
me.
you had to pee
as
on
a
your
diver.
face?
No, that would be gross. Peanut butter, and then they shave the peanut butter off. That's what they do. I had it like
Look at all these tricks.
all across my face. I got it like it hurt so bad. It scared the crap out of me. I thought I got bit by a shark
So how does it?
because you can't see anything when you're diving. First off, I'm supposed to be diving the sub looking for bombs. That's why they put you in the water. It's a security swim.
That
they call
sounds
it.
exciting.
Dude, they don't teach you what bombs look like.
gonna
They don't- I don't even know what the submarine really looked
McDermott,
like.
get out there. Let me know if there's a bomb.
So they put you in. First off, big secret. You can't see anything. Like you put your hand in front of your face, maybe you see it. Like
Did that
most of the
teach you-
time.
did they teach you that in dive school?
No, in dive school, I'm in Panama City. It's freaking
We're going
gorgeous.
drinking
I could
after
see
this.
like fish like a mile away, and then I get into the harbor and they put you in, and you can't see anything. So you're swimming around, and submarines are humongous when you're up next to them. I'm swimming around, and I'm
How
thinking
many
to myself,
stories is a submarine? I'm just trying to
"Oh,
figure
it's
out.
probably
like,
10. I don't know, 100 and something feet tall, 300 and something feet wide.
Wow.
I mean, 307 feet long, 60, 70 feet. No, more
Like a
than that.
Do
building.
you want
wide.
me to Google
It's
the
huge.
dimensions of
No, that's all
your-
right. It's not that important. But like the bottom line is, I would go in the water. I couldn't see
Alone.
anything alone, and then I'd get out and they'd go, "You see any bombs?" I'd be like, "Nope, no bombs." And they're like, "Okay, we can go out to sea now." And it was like I was like hoping.
what are you
going
going
to
to do if you see a bomb, or if you run into a bomb?
I would know. I would have no clue what to do if I ran into a bomb. They
Nope.
don't talk about that stuff. If you run into a bomb, this is what you do. That wasn't part of dive school. It was basically, but like it was scary, man. Like going underwater in the Navy was scary as hell.
Tom, did they give you spotlights or anything? Like, did
Yeah,
that do
yeah.
anything?
You have tons of. I had great
Okay.
equipment. Like
I don't know why when you told me that you were a Navy diver while growing up, I thought you were just jumping in the water and like scrubbing like mussels off the side of the ship
no,
or something.
no. We
just
weren't
looking
doing
for
that.
bombs.
I don't know.
There are mussels on the ship, by the way.
I was like,
Yeah.
you're just going on there and just
Nope.
like getting some
I didn't.
mussels
I'll
off
be
the underside.
secret. I could say this now that I've been out of the Navy over 25 years. I would go underwater and I had no idea what I was doing. I'd be like swimming around.
God.
Sometimes you think that you're like underneath the ship, and then you realize I'm not underneath the ship at all. I'm actually on the side of the ship and I'm upside down. You have no idea because you have no idea what side's up and down. You're just like you start looking at your bubbles. You're like, why are my bubbles going the wrong way? You're like, fuck, I'm upside down.
You
know,
can get
like
that disoriented in that water.
everything. It's so humongous,
it's
dude.
so
You have
dark.
no idea like what you're looking at. It's so huge.
Wow.
And then like, well, by the way, you know what's really scary? I would swim up to the screw because that's really where you want to pay attention to the planes that
wait,
move up
so
and down.
explain people.
The screw
I mean,
is
'cause nobody
the
knows
big
what that
propeller. Okay.
Okay.
And the blades on this thing are like 15 feet tall, each blade. And you come up to it and you're like, like this thing would
Don't
chop
start
me.
up. Don't
It would-
start up.
No, tagged out. I mean, because you make sure as a
Lockout,
diver.
tag out,
Oh
right?
my God,
Yeah.
dude. Like, because if they did like sonar when I was in the water, it would fry me.
Really?
Oh my God. It would.
Sonar
What
sets
is
off a charge?
sonar?
Sonar is
I thought it was
underwater.
just like sound. And
It is. But if a submarine blasted sonar when a diver is in the water, it would blow my eardrums out.
Wow.
It would
Did not know
annihilate
that.
me.
Oh.
I don't know what it would do physically to your body, but your ears
Well,
would be destroyed.
Loud enough sound can damage the soft tissues in
You
your
would have no
body.
idea, Lindsay. The sonar in a submarine is active. It could go miles and miles
Does
out.
it-
Can you imagine if you were right next to the submarine and they blasted you? It would be like a pulse that hit you and it would blow out your eardrums.
So does that
That was $100 a month. I volunteer for all this crap for $100 a month. That's
does
a-
that do that?
But
to
look at all the good
fish and
stories you
stuff?
got.
That's right. What's that?
Does sonar like damage like marine wildlife?
No, I don't know.
Because
I mean,
it's
I
so
haven't-
loud. Like you're just
Because-
going around and just.
First off,
It's
the ocean's a
necessary.
big place.
It's like a gun for fish. It's
The
just like,
ocean is a big, big, big place. Like
Probably
it's
hard to believe how big it is.
like submarines go.
We haven't
let's just say,
discovered all of
let's
it
say
yet.
submarines go like 500-600 feet down. I could be fairly vague like that. They do. Okay.
ish.
The water, they would say, okay, crush depth of our submarine. Like when the submarine fails, is like 1,500 feet.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, and it's different now. That's where you die, right? And the ocean is like 4 miles deep in places.
That's
Can you imagine?
That's like 22,000 feet.
Like, and by the yeah, so
Well,
like
you go down there.
21,000
There's
feet.
some fish that function with all that
Yeah.
pressure
I'm sure.
totally easily. But if we go down there, we would be smushed to a pulp. Like we would just
Well,
be
that-
completely destroyed.
Yes, we don't want to do
my
that.
The
my,
ocean
my
is
recon marine
horrifying.
buddy, we both graduated. It was just like Top Gun. Our last day of dive school, they pounded our dolphin
Pins
pins
into
in.
your...
which is like no back on. It's a metal pin. They put it on you and they punch it. And everybody that's a diver gets to punch you. That's Navy tradition. They probably changed it now. Now they probably kiss you on the cheek or some lame shit like that. But they punch you and you're bleeding, right? And everybody punches you. We all punched each other in. We all got our dive bubble.
That's horrifying.
And then all my recon Marine buddies got orders and went straight to Iraq.
Wow.
The next day, dude. I never saw him again.
And you went back to the sub.
And that was
I
the
went back to the
coolest
sub.
guy you ever held hands with.
I love that guy. I forgot his name.
Well,
I wish I
hopefully
knew
he's
him.
safe and sound.
I hope so. And maybe he's a LOCPOD fan. And
Maybe he's in Belgium. We don't know.
yeah, right. I love Belgium. So
Well,
anyway, yeah,
that was
thanks.
it.
Sea Stories with Mayor Tom.
How did that? Yeah, we love sea stories here at LOCPOD, and so all right. At the end of the day, you're going to be back on the training regimen.
I am on training regimen.
It's happening.
Because my new system with Lent is working too, by the way, where I have to.
You reward
can
yourself.
only
Where's Marissa
eat
calling me
meat
over and over again?
You reward yourself.
Text Marissa, please, and let her know that we're on LOCPOD. Like, I don't know if she remembered.
Yes,
She's
sir.
literally and ask her if
Usually,
like,
if
the
there's
house
an
is on fire or
emergency,
something.
a real emergency, she'll text me, "Are you with Tom?"
Right.
By the way,
I haven't got that yet, so that's good news.
Chat wants you to add an apology to them for the next on the next
Oh,
show.
I did
Because-
the last show,
You know-
but I will do it again.
All right.
No,
Here-
because
here's
Apologies.
why.
I did last show.
Listen.
Here's why.
Okay.
There are trolls in the chat today.
Oh,
Because you
And
went
they
on
think it's your fault.
WJOB and you told them to come
Oh,
here.
I ruined the party.
So they want you to apologize.
But our
to
goal in
them.
life, no offense to our awesome chat crew of 100 plus strong every show, my goal is to have thousands more people in your chat. That's my goal. And if we do bring thousands of more people into your chat, you're going to bring a few assholes every once in a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, like when you have 900 extra people in your
Not
chat,
everybody's gonna
I
like you.
guarantee a couple of them are going to be jerk offs, right?
and they're not going to like us.
Not
No.
everyone on the
Got it.
train is a good passenger.
That's right.
That's right.
But the train
Sometimes they
keeps
need
a
to
running.
be removed.
Train keeps a running, right?
That's right.
We
Man.
keep
right.
moving.
Paul Goddard also says that you should apologize to the Navy for revealing their secrets.
Like, I don't
Which
think
way
I
are the bubbles going?
Crush depth is one I may not have been able to tell.
Well, you did,
But-
it was vague.
By the way,
If
the
Dad ends up in jail.
Los Angeles class submarines are like such old technology now, and I have no clue about Seawolf or any of the other newer. So like the stuff I give you is like 1970s technology.
There you
Realistically,
go.
I
I think you're
imagine
over.
the newer submarines could go faster and deeper, and they're quieter and they're deadlier.
You haven't violated your class.
Like my sub was deadly and quiet, but didn't go very deep and wasn't very fast.
We're going to come back with some more things to talk about after these two sponsors.
All right,
Let's go.
Let me do Beam.
Yeah,
Beam
go.
Longest Enough. BLN is an award-winning consulting firm with experience in all facets of infrastructure projects. Founded in 1945, BLN has provided decades of expertise as a consulting firm. Guided by third-generation leadership, the core group of BLN partners and associates strive to remain leaders within the consulting community. Our history and experience has helped us define a clear vision to work toward total client satisfaction. For more information, call us at 1-800-382-5206.
Latitude Commercial is a full-service commercial real estate brokerage and property management firm specializing in northern Indiana and the Chicago suburbs. Local tenants, the national developers, have benefited from Latitude's experience in the commercial real estate market. When you select Latitude Commercial, you get Chicagoland expertise with worldwide marketing and networking ability. Whether you're a developer looking to sell, a tenant looking to expand, an investor looking to purchase, or an owner in need of property management services, Latitude can help. Contact Latitude at 219-864-0200 or at LatitudeCo, that's latitudeco.com, so they can get to work for you.
Thanks, Kev.
Do we have, John, didn't we talk about doing some mailbag?
Yes,
Mailbag!
We did. This is a
And do
segment we haven't
actually-
done in a while.
Yes, and maybe it's because people haven't been
Well, we got 100.
doing what they're supposed to do and rating
112
us.
people. Why don't you guys, 96 right now, but why don't you guys throw in a couple comments here and there? Don't forget to rate and review us or subscribe.
Oh my God, he's doing my thing again.
Yeah, he is. He's
rude.
That you know what that tells
He's
me
trying
though.
to replace me.
No, you know what that tells me, Linz?
Yeah.
That tells me that it's so good that it sticks in his head.
Oh, that's just stuck in his brain.
Yep.
I
It's
listen
like
to
an
other
earworm.
podcasts. We said it one time at the very beginning of the show, and other podcasts are constantly reminding people to rate, review,
Yeah,
and
I think
subscribe.
that's annoying, though. You know.
I know,
We
but
wanna
that's,
get to the
Very
guts
that's how
of
we
it.
sensitive
get.
about my
That's how you
podcasts.
get more backers, more listeners, more
Mailbag.
ads. So
This was a
that was
5-star.
freaking commanding as hell, right? Kevin's like, mailbag, shut the hell up.
Be quiet.
I'm trying to get in between you guys fighting. I'm right around Lindsay's new birthday, Thursday.
Yes.
This is a 5-star rating. This is a real 5-star rating about our podcast.
It's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
actually
not
real.
actually written by us.
I have to say, these guys are pretty funny for a mayor and a lawyer. Usually those types are monotonous,
Yes.
egotistical,
True.
or make me want to drill a pencil in my eye from boredom. But not these guys.
Not these guys.
They like to curse, it seems. At least one of them does anyway.
Kevin.
But
Potty mouth.
But I don't mind because they seem to be real. I moved out of Hammond when I got a new job, but still keep tabs on the region. Keep up the pretty good work.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, and then he give us a 5.0.
I will take that. I will take that compliment.
Right?
Backhanded compliment.
Who is that person?
Right? Ticky Lady 23.
Thank you, Tiki Lady.
Tiki Lady
Tiki?
23.
Like
Tiki.
The first two
TIKI?
Tiki Ladies suck. Number 23, Tiki Lady is the best.
Jordan.
Tiki
Thank you.
Lady is
Sandberg.
the
Tiki
best
Lady
Tiki
23.
lady.
We appreciate you.
And
I'm
then-
sorry about Kevin's cursing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Apologies.
I will
Kevin.
talk to
That's
him off
getting out
there.
of control, dude.
It is,
I
dude.
mean,
It's getting a little
Need a
ridiculous.
swear
you know?
jar.
That would be funny.
Be empty.
here's
Close to being.
one more mailbag.
Mailbag.
If that's okay.
Sure. We should have a bit for mailbag, producer.
Bump, mailbag.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Maybe
John.
something like that. Kind of like
I like
sounded like a
that.
Something like
Seinfeld
that.
intro or
something
something.
like
That
that.
was kind of Seinfeld.
Something like that. Mailbag.
John's gonna be like, what was
It's gotten weird.
Who was that guy that? I mean, he passed away. The musician that did the like the.
Good thing we're recording this because I'm gonna
I gotta
clip
look that
that.
up.
That'll be the audio.
Mailbag.
John's gonna sit here after the pod today and just record some great mouth sounds for
This is the
mailbag.
good thing about recording. We just don't need to do anything. Just
Do it again.
What's done is done. I can't.
All right.
If you like discussing local politics and all things butt related,
Uh-oh.
this is the podcast for you.
I don't
By
think
the
this
way,
is
I
gonna be a
have
very
not.
How
good
many
review.
stars was this, by
this
the
is gonna,
way?
like, wait till the end. I
I
have a
have-
feeling it's bad, though.
I have not read this in advance. I'm reading it live right now. This is
Butt
I'm
jokes.
Not kidding.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's good, John.
This is a 5-star review.
Do we really have butt jokes?
Well, you have,
Didn't I go after
Lot
you
of
last
dick
show
jokes.
for that? Like ding dongs and dry humping and
Yeah, I guess it is
right,
a
let's
butt
get
joke.
off of
Sorry,
that
humping.
and-
Yeah.
Oh
back to
no!
the butt
Oh
jokes,
yeah,
John.
they go into explain. Here we
Okay,
go.
All right.
From dry humping to anal COVID swabbing.
we did that.
That's a story, though. It's news.
It was
both
China-
of them.
China.
News.
oh, and then
China.
the guy
China.
in what was it, Belgium, with the cartoon with the guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? We did
That's
that?
a cartoon.
That's
like,
right.
what
It
are we
was a real
supposed to do?
show.
Yeah, well,
This is like real news. I think it was
keep
in the
going,
New York
John.
Times.
Go ahead.
Denmark.
Yeah, I'm
by the way.
mid-sentence. People have already forgot how it started. Let me start that again. From dry humping to anal COVID swabbing to pimping out his secretary, no topic is off
Oh my
limits. The things that are discussed on this show would make normal people blush. For those in the region, it's just another Tuesday morning.
It is Tuesday.
Wow.
That's
I
a
guess it is.
great 5-star review.
It's a 5-star.
Yeah.
Thank you to our
Oh, I
listeners
thought it was
and
going to be like a
subscribers.
2 or 1. Wow, that's awesome.
this person obviously condones pimping out your secretary.
Who doesn't?
I wasn't pimping out my
Can we
secretary.
say secretary anymore?
I think it's
Assistant. She's
administrative
my boss.
assistant.
She's my boss.
Administrative assistant.
Right.
There you go. I
Hey,
should
is-
say secretary
is,
sometimes.
Our legislative professional, what is it? Legislative expert, Mike Andrade, is he calling in?
I hope so. He's supposed to call in with an update. Or he's
Ooh,
probably
not
gonna,
calling, he's linking in or.
That's
yeah,
exciting.
we
He
have an
said
update on Noah's bill.
Yeah, go ahead, Mayor.
Well, I mean, I thought he was going to call in with it.
Well, I think we should preview it because he's going to be actually walking. If he's
Paul
able to do
Goddard.
it.
Paul Goddard's asking a question right now. What do you think of no permit to carry guns? Okay, I'm pro gun, so I like it. Kevin's shaking his head. He doesn't.
No, I'm
seem
not.
like,
I'm not anti-gun. I don't like the idea of no permit. I think it's.
I do.
I think it's an idea that
I should
because-
be able to carry my gun in Illinois without worrying about getting arrested.
No.
For a
I think
felony.
I think what they're saying is
You
like
don't-
you don't
Right.
have. You can buy a gun at Cabela's
right
and just
walk home.
walk away with
I
it.
agree. I agree
think-
with that.
Yeah, I don't.
Personally.
I think it's a good way. I think it's a good thing to be able to track who's got. a
No,
gun.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be
wanna
able to track.
who's got guns?
Like I got a gun.
That's
and
probably a poor way to say it, John. That's not what
Yeah,
I meant.
big
What I
brother.
meant was, if somebody is
Thank you, Tom.
illegally carrying a gun, how do you know that they're illegally carrying a gun versus
arrest-
someone that's legally carrying a
Right,
gun?
the straw
That's-
purchase.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant. I didn't
That's a big
correct.
problem.
Yeah,
Tracking. I get it. There should be a gun database for sure.
without a doubt.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
that's all I'm
like,
saying.
if I buy a gun from Cabela's, I should, for the first time, like if Lindsay buys a gun at Cabela's,
Yep.
she should be able to buy a gun, put it in her holster, and go home.
Well, I mean,
And carry it for
there should be
protection.
no background check.
Yeah,
I mean-
no.
Well, I mean, there's
I
a
don't-
background check.
That has nothing to do
Right,
with background
but you
check. We
can't
have to
go to-
follow federal laws,
Of
Kevin.
course.
Okay, but this is about: do you have to go get fingerprinted? Do you have to go to the police department, get approved, and all that? And they're saying no in Indiana.
Yeah, I guess I would just think there has to be some identification that you're illegal. Because what if the police come up and there's folks in the car that have illegal guns?
Then
Like,
you arrest them.
how do they know they're illegal if there's no permit? How do they know
If you're
there's
not
no,
supposed to carry a gun and you get it,
How do you
Well,
know
anyway.
if there's no permit?
I don't agree with this.
But I mean, how do you arrest a person with an illegal gun if you don't know if they have a permit or not? Because There's no
We're
difference.
talking about
Kevin's
concealed
asking
carry. You
questions.
still need a permit, right? You got
I don't
go
know.
To the...
I don't know if they're saying that.
I have a permit anyway, so
Of
it doesn't
course.
matter to me.
Right,
Yeah.
I know.
But
Well,
it is
I mean-
bullshit to have to go through that process for something
Yeah,
I
I
should
don't
have
know.
a Second Amendment right to do.
I think you do have well, that's like saying
I
like
do.
you have a right to drive, but you don't need a license.
Right.
I think you do need a
Okay.
license to drive.
Well,
so
anyway,
yeah,
you're not making the rules, unfortunately.
Well, either are they.
Damn.
necessarily.
Yeah,
Neither-
you're not, though.
Neither
I
are
mean,
you.
the supermajority
Well,
is
neither
doing
are
it.
you.
I actually
Kevin, you
agree.
pissed him
I
off.
actually agree with the supermajority in this case. I don't think we should have that many restrictions on guns, quite frankly, in America. And if I took my gun,
So-
if I took my gun to Chicago, I could get arrested and charged with a felony. That's bullcrap too.
Well, that's just because
that's something that should be a national policy because we do have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It should be a national. Like when I go to Michigan or I go to Illinois and I have my gun with me, I know that I'm possibly getting myself in trouble.
Right. It's a federal right. I agree with you.
But to transport it through states, you have to like lock it in your trunk. The ammo's got to be separate from the gun.
Yeah.
And what I think,
Right.
Tom, what you're saying is you should just be able to drive.
Dude,
through
where do you
states
need?
with it.
I need a gun more in Chicago than I need a gun in Indiana, right?
Agreed.
For sure.
I know, and I can't take my gun there, and all the bad guys are the ones with the guns.
Well, I'm
Well,
not.
and that
Like,
new
I-
crime
I-
bill-
I know where my gun is.
exists
You're talking
because
about two
the
different
bad guys
issues,
come
though.
here and get their guns, and then they go back. That's why that law exists, because they can come
That-
to Indiana and pretty much buy a gun and just head back to Illinois.
What I would say is
They
this:
do.
is that what you're saying, Mayor, I think are two different things because what you're saying is the state rules are different, or the city rules might be different in Cook County even versus the state of Illinois.
Right.
I think if you have a legal permit to carry in the state that it was issued, you should be able to carry it.
Agree.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Agree.
But I don't think it should be. You don't have to carry a piece of paper or register it.
I have my on me anyway.
Yeah,
went
well, I
through
mean,
that.
because you follow the rules, and I get that, and that's good.
So anyway, the reason we're talking about this issue is because Representative Mike Andrade, fan of LOCPOD, and our legislative expert, he's going to be our legislative expert. We decided yesterday that he decided, if you guys remember the story about Noah Inman, who was playing basketball in his driveway
on the 4th of July.
It was the 3rd of the 4th of July. I was right around there, and he just dropped dead because a bullet fell from the sky and killed him. It like lodged right into
and
his
then
head.
during New Year's, you had an issue with a former employee who
True.
recorded himself
True.
or themselves just firing
Right,
into the air,
which brought out this whole
recklessly.
discussion.
Yeah.
And then Mike Andrade, again, we tried to pass a bill that said in Indiana, you cannot, by the way, I'm a pro-gun guy, and they try to pass a law that says it is a felony to fire a weapon into the air.
in a city,
Reckless.
within
In a
city
city,
limits.
right.
So this didn't apply to rural areas,
Right.
by the way.
Which, by the way, I hate to break it to all these geniuses that do this out there. Your bullets do come down, idiot. They come down. Where do they come down? I don't know. It's like a lottery. Maybe one day it's your family member that gets hit by this falling bullet. But what do you think? You fire them into the air and they go into orbit?
They come down.
They come down and they hurt people sometimes, right? Like Noah, he got killed by a falling bullet. Okay. So we tried to change the law. At the time, it was Representative Lawson floats a bill that said it is a felony in Indiana to fire a gun into the air. I think this is something most reasonable people could agree on.
And especially within city limits. I mean, we're
Right.
not saying like if you're in the country,
If you're in like,
unincorporated
the forest,
areas.
this
yeah.
should still be illegal, in my opinion. Why are you firing a gun into the air? Fire it into the ground if you want to hear the sound. At least if you're firing it into the ground, the bullet's not going to kill somebody, right? So anyway,
It's reckless.
Representative Lawson attempts to make it a felony in Indiana to fire a gun in the air in a city limit, and it was shot down by the Republican supermajority.
That was several years ago.
It was the year Noah was killed.
What do you
the year
maybe
after Noah was killed.
16, 17, somewhere in there.
It was her last year, so maybe 18.
Okay.
Okay, so or I don't remember. Maybe it was 19, actually. Representative Mike Andrade yesterday floated an amendment on this bill. It was a gun bill, and he wanted to float an amendment that says, okay, you will have...
Oh,
Ooh, that's exciting.
That's
That's
Representative
Andrade.
Andrade.
Oh,
calling
this is
in.
him.
Perfect.
Wow.
They can't hear that.
I
Only
like
we can.
this.
Wow.
They cannot hear the call coming.
No.
I was like, what? I was looking. I thought Marissa was calling me again.
So give me just give me a second to port Andrade, and
Yeah,
you
so
guys
keep
keep
going.
talking, okay?
So Representative Andrade, there's a bill that's going through the legislature that is trying to make it so that you don't have to have a permit to carry in Indiana. And Mike has a great idea. Representative Andrade says, I'm going to float an amendment to that Noah's bill and try to get it amended in. Maybe it's because we're talking a bill about guns. I could get this amended in, right?
Right.
Mike, are you there?
He is
Good
now
morning, my
on.
friends. Can you guys hear me?
Hold on
We
2
can.
seconds.
We
I can
can,
hear you.
Representative.
Can you turn it up a little, John?
Yep. Go ahead.
Hi, Representative. How you doing?
I'm doing
Wow.
great. Good morning to everyone there. Good morning to John. Good morning to Lindsay. I'm sure
morning.
Lindsay's somewhere there.
Hello.
And Kevin, and of course, the best mayor in the state of Indiana, Mayor Thomas
Thanks,
McDermott Jr.
Thank you for attempting to do the right thing yesterday. Could you explain a little bit what happened with the amendment you floated in regard to Noah's bill?
So this is, I actually have a copy of the amendment here, and I was actually this week. we first tried to find a place for it on a bill on a committee here, and unfortunately, we're not able to get any success there. And then after following our legal counsel team here, we were able to do the amendment, and we were going to put it on a bill that a certain representative had. And when we tried to submit the amendment on that bill, we got turned down, just like we've been turned down for everything else here in this, unfortunately, half session. It's very difficult to work with the Republicans. I've tried to build relationships with them, but unfortunately, it's everything their way or the highway. And but I'm not going to give up. I have another idea that I'm going to do with this bill, and that is we have Senate bills. They're going to be starting to come down next week. So we are going what is called half session. So we're done hearing the House bills. So now we're going to start hearing Senate bills coming down to committees starting next week. So what I want to do is I'm going to start looking, and I got Dominic and Samantha from my staff checking on any bills coming down from the Senate that we could put this amendment on that bill.
Do you think it's going to be any different, the final result? I mean, realistically.
I'm very optimistic. This is why I decided to be here. And so the only thing I could do is be very optimistic, right? And be hopeful and work my behind off. That's awesome. And that's all I could do. Can I say it's going to happen? The chances are very slim. Let's just be honest, because of how they are the supermajority.
Can I ask you a question, Rep? Why?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody talked to you about this amendment, or are they just like they just shoot it down and they don't give you an explanation at all?
I actually met with the chairman of the Veterans and Public Safety Committee. So you guys know I'm part of that committee. I'm a member of the Veterans and Public Safety Committee. Anything that has to do with public safety comes through us.
Who's that rep?
That is Representative Fry, Chairman Fry.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also have what is called the judiciary, and then you have government regulations. So in one of those, sometimes they put bills in there that has to do with gun laws. And so I've been working with them to try to get something. Unfortunately, nothing happened. So now the other option is working on Senate bills that will come down that I could try to squeeze this amendment in there. And this is a very important one. People don't understand. I'm sure you guys know, the logistics of it. But all it is saying, hey, the problem that a lot of these Republicans have is, hey, you're trying to put this amendment that's going to hurt my rural area. And it's not. The amendment clearly says the discharge of a firearm who knowingly or intentionally discharges a loaded firearm without legal justification while in a city or town commits dangerous discharge of firearm is a level 6 felony. Mm-hmm. So the key here is the language of this amendment.
It's very clear.
City or town discharges intentionally, knowingly, without legal justification. And this is what I was telling the Republicans. I said, look, the language is very clear. I'm not trying to get you from being up there in Tubac County in the middle of 20 acres shooting your rifles or your shotguns up there in the air, and you're going to get in trouble. No. Right. This is talking about knowingly discharging your firearm in a city limit.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, Mike. And we appreciate what you're doing down there. By the way, what a great background. Where are you exactly down in Indianapolis?
I am in the balcony of the chamber where we normally would meet in a non-pandemic year, in a normal year. And I actually have to be running here in a few
we'll let you get
to
back
session.
To work.
We've officially designated you as our legislative expert. I hope you're cool with that.
You're our man on the spot.
Thanks for putting me up. You know what? All we could do is work hard, study hard, get creative on how we're going to work on these amendments and on these bills that we're going to be able to work with the Republicans, because we know they're the supermajority. They control the House and the Senate. But I also, like I said, very optimistic. I have already been a co-author on a lot of their bills. I actually going to be a co-sponsor on 3 Senate bills coming down, and I'm working on some more. Mm-hmm. So all I could do is work with what they have and try to find bipartisanship and get things done.
All right, awesome.
Thanks, Representative. It's great to hear from you. Until next time, that's our legislative expert in the Indiana legislature, Representative Mike Andrade of Munster. Thank you very much, Representative.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
you guys have a great day.
Have a good one. Thanks for calling in.
By the way, John.
How cool is that, John? Good work.
John.
Pretty neat.
That's pretty solid, John.
Thanks.
On the fly, John.
Yeah,
I like.
I'm going to
Do they have to call in, or how does that work?
I'm a high IQ individual.
Do they do like FaceTime, or how does that work?
It's Skype.
We're using Skype.
Baby.
They have a really cool feature for streamers. But by the way, Andrade,
did we learn that from certain West Coast podcaster or West Coast.
This is John. John's like Skype's the way to go.
I thought we got that from Matt Money.
No,
Right.
shit. So Andrade had to run, but there was a really good question in the chat, and maybe you and Kevin could help answer this. But for legislation that people really believe in, a lot of us believed in this one that unfortunately was shot down. What can your average voter do to help get this legislation passed?
Demand redistricting reform. So that we get legislators that actually listen to the public and listen to mayors and listen to people that want changes in law. Like right now, these people are so far right and they don't have to listen to anybody from the left at all. And they don't. Representative Mike is a great, reasonable person.
And by the way, he's in a district that is pretty much split. You know, so,
it's Munster is not exactly a bastion of Democratic votes.
So I think, Mayor, the point of what you're saying, and I just want to be clear what you're saying. You're not saying, redistrict so that we get more Democrats in there.
No, redistrict so it's fair.
Exactly. Redistrict so you don't have a district that's so one way or the other that you have to listen to the other side.
That's right.
Because you want to get reelected. And that's what usually that's what people that are in elected office, they want to continue to be elected so they can continue to do the work that they believe is best for their constituents. And the way to do that is to make sure that the districts are closer and closer to even, so you have to listen to both sides to get your job done. Mm-hmm. I think that's the point. And that's number one. Number two, I guess in the meantime, before they redistrict, which will happen this summer, make sure to contact your legislators, no matter where you live in the state of Indiana, in Indianapolis, in Kokomo, in other places where you might have representatives that don't think this way, and you got to get them to know you care about the bill.
What's a good resource for people to find their legislator, or their representatives, their website?
IN.gov is the government website. Search for the legislature on there.
Okay.
Yeah. We have on Friday's show, we have another expert coming in to help us with tax preparation.
This is going to be exciting.
And before you fall asleep, I want to remind you, not only is Bobby Lendy, my former controller, not only is Bobby Lendy super damn smart, not only is Bobby Lendy a CPA.
Was he one of your students?
Bobby Lendy was one of my former students at Purdue. But not only all these things, he is funny as all hell.
He is.
He is a freaking riot.
He did a post this morning about Tang that I almost rolled over. Bobby is so funny.
So what I'm saying is, not only are you going to learn, and if you have questions, you can submit them through chat, and we'll pull them and ask Bobby the questions. And not only is it going to be excellent advice on tax preparation, I guarantee you it's going to be with an edge. Bobby is edgy and funny as all hell.
Here's what Bobby sent me as a little teaser.
So there's a little teaser. Okay.
The teaser is, on Friday, you'll learn the number one way you can make money off your kids in Indiana without selling them off for scientific experiments. That's
a little preview of what we're in for.
So we're going
to. But like Bobby is super smart, and if you have a legitimate tax question, Friday is your day. Bobby could help you without a doubt, and Bobby's also going to entertain you.
That is without question.
Bobby's in the comments, and he said that he paid us to say that.
There you go, Bob. Bob, your ads are due now. So
you know what I just thought of?
What's that?
When we did so Tom had a 50th a couple years back, and we did a video for him, his closest friends.
Oh, that's right.
A video.
Yeah.
So we reached out to a lot of people and said, submit your just a 15-second clip, and we'll include it in this long video.
I get
Bobby's.
Right? Yeah.
He's in a bubble bath.
Yep.
With a hairnet.
And
eating
he has
string
no hair.
cheese. He's eating string cheese and drinking wine. And he says, happy birthday, Tom, blah, blah, blah.
That's my guy.
That was hilarious.
I love Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby is a good friend, and he's a neighbor, and he was my former controller. But I guarantee you'll never hear another tax show like the one you're going to hear on Friday on LOCPOD. So please tune in with any questions you have. We do like to get these experts. So we have Bobby as our tax expert. Mm-hmm. We have Andrade, Representative Mike, as our legislative expert.
That's right.
I'm sort of like the stock expert, giving good tips.
The locomotive, yes.
I gave a tip.
We had the cow guy on too. He was interesting.
I defriended him on Facebook, and
he's gone off the deep end a little
bit. Dude, he's like,
really?
He categorizes too much.
The cow guy?
Yeah, he categorizes too much.
He likes to put you in a bucket.
Well, no, like with me, like all these Democrats think the same way. It's like, okay, well, I'm a Democrat, and I actually see the world similarly to him in a lot of ways, financially. Right?
I think you lose credibility when you start putting people in buckets.
I agree. So I defriended him, but he's still a friend of the show. I just can't read his bull crap. Like, I read his column every week.
He's a friend of the show.
Speaking of things that people are doing good.
I didn't say I hate him. I said I can't be friends with him on Facebook.
Can't stand everything he says.
I don't want to see his stuff talking about,
Business manager Steve is an expert at Stitcher.
Oh, it's true. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
People
are we
that are
talking
good at
about
things.
each other's skills?
You said people that are good at things.
I did stock tips a few shows back,
guy.
and I said buy Rail Dutch Shell and ExxonMobil. And Kevin, they're up to like 25% since that show.
If only you listened.
I did listen. I made a lot of money off of my stock tip, and they don't always go right, but that one did. And I have another stock tip.
Okay. Ready.
It's a short.
Going short.
So you could buy a put on this stock.
Are the Reddit listeners listening?
Carvana. It is the most overinflated BS stock. In my opinion, one of the biggest BS stocks on the stock market right now. Carvana was trading at like 30, 40, $50 a share, and now it's at 300.
What's the acronym?
CVNA.
CVNA, Carvana.
Short.
The Tower of Power in used cars.
Yeah.
So
CarMaxes.
if we're going to short it, don't you have to buy a date?
Buy a put.
Sell it. Well, if you're doing stock, you sell the stock,
you buy
and then
a
you
put.
buy it back.
Well, no, you buy a put.
If you're doing options.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of
That's
this
easy.
means.
Right. We
I
got
know a lot
to
of
have a
people
whole
don't.
stock show.
Whoa.
No. Yeah.
That would be boring.
Yeah, we'll have
I think
four
we'll lose.
people listening.
Yeah.
But
We're down to
like,
single digits.
you know, the WMCD, they have a stock show. Okay. And it's not going very well. So let's just, we'll avoid that one.
You should have,
Literally,
like your picks versus theirs and see where they're going.
WMCD,
Right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Whenever we say that station, it's WMC.
WMCD.
Hey, you know what
Hammond,
expert?
Indiana.
You know what expert we left out? Phil, the football expert.
That's
Oh.
right.
Doty
I'm
just
a-
brought
I forgot.
that up.
Thank you, Doty.
I'm the football expert.
I'm with.
Phil
I vote
and
for Lindsay.
The
Yeah,
football
they're-
expert. Okay.
I will not erase my score.
We have a whiteboard in
I'm
the studio.
10-4, and he is 4-10.
10-4.
There's a reason we didn't say Phil's the football expert.
What other experts do we have other than them?
Kevin is the cursing expert.
He's obviously the legal
Steve's our
expert.
legal
Potty
expert.
mouth.
Steve and Kevin are the legal expert.
I don't want to. I know she's already got a lot on her plate, but based off a response I saw in chat today, I feel like Megan should be our chat expert.
Wow.
She's in there answering questions about gun permits in Illinois and
Megan
Indiana.
Flores?
Yeah,
No,
Megan Flores.
Megan Flores.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel
you're
like
the
she needs to
controller,
be the
Megan.
chat
She's the,
expert.
she's the
Thank you,
city
Megan.
controller. She's awesome. Big fan
Smarty
of Megan.
pants.
And
John is
gun-
the technology expert.
tech wizard.
That's
Tech
right.
wizard.
That's right.
I'm doing high IQ
Oh,
stuff.
wizard!
Back
You
here,
gave
guys.
yourself a title, wizard.
I like
Wizard.
wizard. Yeah.
Well, we have the magic man, Steve.
Oh yeah, I'm not using that. Magic.
Last
there a song?
last thing I wanted. What do you guys think of the beard, by the way?
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm done
It's
with
getting
it.
close.
As your work spouse, I'm done with it.
Really? Yeah.
I think it should be the same length as your hair, but
I know my beard is actually probably a little longer than the hair right now.
They're about even still.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
I'm
are you
about
gonna do?
I want to shave my head and shave my beard.
Both.
Yeah.
all of
So
it.
we should
I have too
expect
much
a
hair.
new Tom McDermott on Friday.
No, it's going to be tighter. I'm not going to go as low as I was when I got shaved by Ariana because she took it down to the skin.
Maybe you can apologize.
I'll go down, maybe one guard and shave it down.
All right.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
And the beard's about to be gone. So,
Well, thanks for a good show.
yeah, man, it was a great
fun.
show.
I mean,
Thanks,
we didn't really
everybody.
have a
We
big
love you.
plan today,
We
but-
appreciate our viewers. And, I'm not sure who I'm going to have to apologize to next show, but Todd Rakita's probably on the list because I was pretty rough on him again.
Again.
My apology was actually really not a very good apology when you think about it.
We got to work on those.
I'm going to apologize next show for not properly apologizing.
You'll be an expert at
to Attorney
apologizing
General
soon
Todd
enough.
Rakita. And then I'm sure I pissed off WJOB by calling him WMCD. Probably have to apologize.
Well,
to
don't
them
give
as
away
well.
your apologies. You're
I
going
know.
to give
I'm
it
already.
away.
I'm
You're
just
gonna repeat
brainstorming
them.
apologies.
Now they're going to be repeated.
Friday, tax tips with Bobby. It's going to be a classic show. And then we're working on. I know, like I said, we have an Olympian coming up. We got some good guests getting
Really
lined
good
up by
guests.
the Magic Man is earning his pay right now.
Our
which is
business manager is going to get a raise.
from 0 to 0.
Chat is crazy in favor of the beard.
Wow.
Thank you, chat. Love you guys. The good thing is it'll come back. I promise.
Nice.
But like, I don't know. I don't know if I should look like a hippie mayor
Let's
with a
just
beard.
check it out.
Yeah.
Just running around saying GD, wearing a beard.
Saying
and all
GD.
that.
Apologizing.
Apologizing that weren't real
Swearing.
The
apologies.
youth today, they're out of control.
I know, right? So anyway, it's great to see you guys. John did a great job. Skyped in, a guest.
Yeah.
Awesome.
On the fly, John.
What's the matter, Linz?
Marissa says she likes the beard. Keep
Marissa
it.
does like the beard.
Is she okay?
So,
by the way?
oh, good to hear
she's the
Marissa's-
boss.
Yeah, no.
Nice to
Skype
hear
her
she's
in.
actually watching.
She just popped in.
Yeah,
Eight-
they called me
8:45.
twice. Yeah, thanks, hon. Nice to see you. Hope all's well out there. Forgot that we have a show. But Lindsay, thank you very much
Great
for
support.
what you do. You're the best. I love your Region sweater.
Thanks.
Kevin Smith, the legal expert,
No.
the freaking co-host, the caboose, the man of the myth. Thank you very much for what you do. And to our audience, you guys are awesome. Again, subscribe to our show on Apple Pod, on Stitcher, on YouTube. Rate and review us. And we'll read.
Spotify.
Mailbag. We're going to try to do mailbag again on Friday, John.
We'll try.
we get 'em in.
We get reviews. You got to review us on Apple Podcasts.
Send us
people.
messages.
We will read it, even if it's a
Leave us
bad
reviews.
one. Even like for those guys like Mad Mac who's spying on us right now.
And
you
give
can
us
even
1
review us.
star.
He's
And we'll-
not spying.
we
He's
will-
in our chat.
We will
actively.
literally read off your review and
Don't
your
give him
rate.
any credit.
So anyway, great to see everybody. We love you. I'll see you on Friday for Tax Tips with Bobby. You're the best. Take care, everybody.